Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So I wanna do a Q&A here. I haven't done one in a while, and this one's gonna be really focused just on the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, the panel, just sort of everything about that. There's a lot of questions about Rick, which obviously isn't too surprising. A lot of people are really excited about the movie and stuff. So yeah, obviously if you want to take part in these Q&As, definitely go join the Discord. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. The link should be in the description. Also, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. Comic-Con is just around the corner. We're about 16 days away now until, I'm assuming, and that's the thing, we don't have any details right now regarding the Walking Dead Comic-Con panel, but there's also a lot of other franchises and whatnot that haven't announced stuff. So I know I see a lot of people, especially on Twitter anyways, kind of freaking out about it, but they're going to announce something like we are going to get information about it. Like we definitely are. It's just sort of a matter of when. I would have thought that it would have came out already. It could still come out at some point today. Tomorrow's Friday. If we don't get anything, honestly, today or tomorrow, I don't expect we'll get on the weekend, but we'll for sure get it by July 11th. I think July 11th on the Monday, going into those next couple days of early next week. Like they're going to announce it because once we're already into early next week, like the panel's just a week and a half away after, right? Like it's like 8-9 days away at that point. So they're going to definitely announce something very soon. I don't know if it's happening today, but just in the next couple of days, I think we just gotta all be really patient. Like they're going to announce something. Like honestly, if you just go on Twitter and you're seeing what the Walking Dead fans are talking about, it is pretty depressing. I don't know. For me, I'm just way more optimistic about it. Honestly, I'm just way more optimistic about what's actually going on here. And there's a lot of other franchises that haven't really announced anything yet. So obviously they are working on some final details, or they are going to be announcing something. Like maybe it's not necessarily to do with, showing up, but it's about cast members being there, right? Like that could be a big part of it. So first question here is from Tyler. If Rick returns at the end of the season, do you think he will look like a CRM soldier? And he says something like, we need to get ready for war. There's a big bad group of people coming this way. And that leads to this CRM versus Commonwealth war, maybe in the Rick movie or something like that. I don't think it's going to be anything like that, because an ending like that, like The Walking Dead will end on some sort of cliffhanger, I think, right? Like it's not going to be a cliffhanger in the sense that it cuts to black and we're all wondering, okay, what the hell's next? And then we got to wait for a show, right? Like they're going to give us this conclusive ending, but there's going to be some questions, right? Like it's going to be something basically. And the way I'm kind of picturing it, to be honest, is, everyone's happy. Things are peaceful. We're going to get these montages of this and that, whatever. I don't even know what they're going to do, because again, as soon as we get to those last couple of episodes, it's going to be a lot more, I guess, predictable in a way. We're still pretty far out from that, so I have no idea what's actually going to happen there. I really do believe, Daryl, everyone else is going to find out that Rick's alive. And so I kind of assume the ending is going to be like that, where Daryl's just kind of like, everyone's happy, whatever. And then if there's a cliffhanger of any sort, it's just sort of Daryl on his motorcycle and he's riding off to go and get Rick, right? So it's just like this, okay, it's this peaceful ending. He knows Rick's there, but it's also sort of a cliffhanger because we know that there's this next big adventure coming up, right? With the franchise expanding, we're getting all the spin-offs and the movies and whatnot. So I don't think it's going to be something where Andrew Lincoln shows up as Rick and they're getting into this huge war. I think that's ignoring a lot of things that you could do there for the story, right? Just to build up that tension between the Commonwealth and the CRM. Q&A, do you think the trailer will show us any hints regarding the spin-off / Rick movies? I don't think, well, you know what? I think the trailer could give us some hints on the spin-offs potentially, and maybe some stuff regarding Rick, just regarding, his survival. I don't know about the movie, obviously. The Rick movie is the biggest question going into this Comic-Con, right? Because everybody wants a really big update, and I really hope that we do get that. It's just sort of a matter of it's hard to believe when we haven't gotten an update in so long, right? Like the last time we got an update was last December, which Gimple kind of just shrugged it all off. Like he didn't really talk about it too much. And I think before that, Might have been Comic-Con last year where, there were some things talked about, but it was just the same old script update. In 2019 was a really exciting time because they announced that it was going to be in theaters and whatnot. Obviously, the script was still, it's basically been, like, I know people say it's been 4 years. It's basically been almost 3 years since a real update. Like, even in early 2020, I think there was actually an update where they talked about, like, oh, we were going to film, or the script has been getting better and better. So there has been some updates over the last couple of years, but there hasn't been anything really crucial. And I just think some clarity on the whole situation is super important. And I really hope that they do give us that, because I think the fan base needs it. Like, I honestly, people are so depressed online. Like, you're just on Twitter anyways, and it's just like, man, people are just like, yeah, The Walking Dead's not the same anymore. The Rick movies aren't happening, this and that. And like, all they want is that. And I've been seeing that everywhere. Every single post I see, there's always stuff about Rick. And I think if they just give a release date, a big announcement, maybe something from Andrew Lincoln, like an interview, even if it's like via Skype or it's already pre-recorded, just anything building that hype, I think people are going to be super excited. Right? If it is the same old update, like, oh, well, we're just working on the script and whatever, then it is just going to suck for fans. It doesn't mean that it's not going to come out, but obviously a lot of fans that do believe that are just going to continue to believe that. Do you think that the person who drew Rick and his daughter back in the Michonne episode on the boat could actually be Jada, since she was well known for being an artist? I could see that being possible. Like, I know that Jadis was well known for being an artist, and that was the theory at the time. Gimple did sort of say some stuff afterwards, where it was like, well, maybe that wasn't necessarily Jadis, and that was something else, and we don't know what it means. We don't know why that was there. Like, are they watching them? We honestly, we just have no idea at this point. I don't know if it was Rick. I mean, it's not hard to draw. Like, if anything, it's more because of the writing. I can't remember exactly what it said, but obviously Rick wouldn't write that, so it just depends on who would do that. So I think that's why the assumption is that it is Jadis. Do you think we'll get a CRM tease, a name drop, logo, anything, or do you think they'll save that for an end-show kind of reveal? I hope you and Chelsea and the kids are all doing great, man. Yeah, we're doing really awesome. Thank you for that. In terms of getting a CRM tease, I could see that for the trailer. I could see getting the logo. And I guess, I don't know about the name drop. I think that's something that's probably going to happen in the episode. I could definitely see the logo, and that could be something that would happen in like a post-credit scene in the trailer, or just something throughout. It might be just like the armor, or they might find something. Like, I feel like, the way they're going to craft this, like, if you're Angela Kang or whoever is going to be crafting this trailer and putting it together, this is the final trailer, really, for the main show. I know there's all this excitement for everything else, but like for the main show, this is the final one. So I feel like you have to put that extra effort in there. You have to make fans super excited, because there is so much that you can likely show here. And that's the one thing that I'll say, to the people who think that season 11 hasn't been, I guess, as great as like season 9 was. I think a part of that is true as well, because season 9 was just really great. Like, season 9 was just such a phenomenal season. Honestly, it is one of the best seasons of the show. And I think a big thing about season 11 is just sort of where the story went overall. I think just structure-wise, the more exciting stuff is at the end, right? Because we just came off of a very big arc, literally at the end of season 10, right? The Whisperer War ended. And so you can't just get into this crazy action and all this stuff immediately. You kind of have to go into something a bit slower. And I think the Reaper arc definitely failed at that. I think they could have came up with something else. But that was sort of, I think, the purpose there. And then obviously they're going into the Commonwealth here a little bit. Things are getting a lot more exciting. And now we're just sort of where we're at. If anything, I think they probably should have got into the Commonwealth stuff a little bit sooner, right? But yeah, anyways. Do you think we'll hear something about Rick, for example, like Rick's voice at the end of the trailer? I don't know about that. Like, it really depends. Obviously, it depends on how much Rick is going to be in the final season. Obviously, I don't think he's going to be in it at all. Like, maybe he has a something at the end where there's like a voice clip, footage of him or something like that. Because obviously Andrew Lincoln was in Georgia a couple months ago towards the end of filming. It might not have meant anything, because obviously he could have just went there to say goodbye, but it could also mean a lot, because I'm pretty sure he was there for a bit, right? So it really depends on how much he's going to be there, but I don't see it being anything like we're going to actually see Andrew Lincoln or hear his voice in the trailer. I just think it's a little bit too much. Do you expect to see a character death tease in the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, like Ezekiel or Gabriel or Aaron? Yes, they usually in every trailer there's like this misleading death scene, so I think we're gonna see that like maybe even 2 times in the trailer. Do you think we'll get a tease or a hint of why Daryl is going to Europe, or why Maggie and Negan are going to New York? I don't think we're gonna get a tease at that, just because I think that's stuff that's gonna actually happen by the end of the series. I think what they're gonna showcase in this trailer really is going to be a lot of the Commonwealth stuff, just sort of where we ended. There's probably going to be some really exciting stuff like the Rick stuff or the CRM stuff, but I think that's mostly going to be it, because once we get into all that stuff, that's what leads into the spinoffs, right? So I think they're going to save that for just later on. If Andrew Lincoln were to come back for the final episodes, do you think they would announce it at San Diego Comic-Con or Talking Dead like they did with Kim Dickens, or would we have to wait for the episode to air for us to see him? I honestly, like, I would say they probably would announce it, but I feel like if Andrew Lincoln was going to come back for something, he would have it in his contract to say, don't announce anything, just let the episode air, because he was pretty vocal when they announced the fact that he was leaving the show. Back in 2018 or whatever, like, he really wanted or he didn't want an announcement at all. He wanted it to just be like, you would just watch the show, and all of a sudden Rick left, and then you got the announcement of the movies, right? He wanted people to be shocked, but obviously they announced it way beforehand. There was all this promotion for Rick's final episodes. And so I feel like if he was to come back in any way, he would be like, I don't want that, I don't want any announcement. I don't know if he has that kind of leverage. I mean, I'm assuming he does. He's Andrew Lincoln, but like, yeah, I don't know. I still don't think he's going to be in the final episodes. I still think there's going to be a lot of hints towards like just where he went, his survival. They're going to learn about a bunch of stuff like that. His presence will be felt. It's going to be a lot more than we've got. It's probably going to be the most that we've got really since he's left the show. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be there. But yeah, anyways, definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.